of what's going on. And it seems like for the most part, people have had good luck with that. Because maybe you do miss like some of the intricacies of Dad's story or something.
Yeah.
But you don't just feel totally lost at sea, right?
Yeah. Is this the one? Somebody was telling me too. Another Easter egg I missed is that you find a box full of his books and you can go.
Yeah, if you go back in the library, there's
the porn box.
You should do that. Yeah, you should do that.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Is this it or
no? Go for it. Yeah, it's in the bottom of the bookshelf in the library, which is back through Dad's office. Okay. Yeah.
It's a really nice home, by the way. I'm glad that guy died.
And was so generous as to leave this house to the family. I mean, that was something that we wanted to do. So write it down there. Sorry, back behind you now, to your left. Oh, you're almost there. You go down in those cabinets down there.
Ah, yes. Okay.
So it is easy to miss.
No, see, but what I did is I went in here and I imagine like other people, right? Like first off, it's fun to play this game now, like knowing everything.
Yeah.
Because I was like before, like literally, I'm inching through every room waiting
Right.
for the goblin to come get me. But like here, I was like, I ain't got time for this accidental death stuff.
All right, so there it is under there.
Yeah.
So there might be a sexy lady in the game. There might be more than one. You don't know.
Well, no, I know that for a fact. I liked a lot. Like, it's interesting. Like when the story starts evolving, and I get where it's going with Sam and everything.
Yeah.
There's a moment when I open Sam's locker and there's a sexy photo of a woman. There's like a tear out of like a JCPenney catalog model in there, and Katie's reaction is, "Gosh, Sam."
Right.
I was like, God, what's wrong with Katie? What kind of reaction? Like, I guess is like you're dealing with a lot right now. But
right.
My reaction would be like, oh. What the hell, Sam?
Katie's having a very eventful night.
I know, right?
She's finding out a lot about her family
I know,
tonight.
and like that's the other thing too to think about, right? Is the fact that like this girl's life is shattered. Like on top of like she has got to clean up the entire house now. She's got to break to her parents that she's that lesbian you tried to keep her away from. They're in love and she's gone like forever now. You know what I mean? Maybe you'll see her down the line. And on top of that, ew, guys, I found your condom and I know all about this. And
I went through your dresser drawers.
Did Mom cheat on with the tree man? Is that ever
with the sexy tree man?
Yeah.
I mean, on the one hand, I would say that like my intent was that it was not a relationship that was fulfilled.
Okay,
it was like sort of, it was something that Mom was kind of pursuing, but not totally sure about, and it worked out a certain way. But the other side of it is there's so much room for interpretation in this game that I'm much more interested in how did a player of the game interpret it and what did they think the implication was, more than me just saying, here's how it is. Like, I'm going to tell you the canon answer to this thing. Because some people are there've been some interesting stories of people being like, oh yeah, I started reading Mom's stuff, and I was like, oh, she had an affair, and then later I was like, no, I guess she didn't. But some people didn't get that far, didn't assume that in the first place, or I don't know. So it's interesting seeing how people react to what you find in the game.
This cracked me up, by the way, too.
Yeah.
Because obviously I've gone through the entire first floor and I've turned on every light and left them on because I'm terrified playing this game.
Yeah, that was one of those things where we had playtesters play, and everybody goes through and they're just turning every light in the house on.
Right.
And it was pretty much, there's a couple of people who are super conscientious and like turn off the lights and close the doors and everything when they leave the room, but almost nobody does. So yeah, that note was just a little wink and nod to be like, we know how you're playing this game.
Every one of these cassettes I put in, I would let play for a little bit, and then I'd just wait for like the demon, like whatever. And then when it didn't happen, I would take it out and throw it because I was like, I had to have all my senses, right? Like I'm constantly ready in this game for something to rush out and attack me.
You did not want for your hearing to be muffled.
Exactly. Nobody's getting the drop
music
on me because I was listening to Riot Girl. All right, like, there's got to be something going on here. This, like, it's little things like this too, right? Like, not every house, obviously, but like growing up, we'd have like a Bible in a closet or something, right? That you put down and forgot about. But like here, it's like all of a sudden a sinister vibe of like, oh, no wonder there's ghosts in the house. They're like against God, and they're not doing this. Stared at this thing for hours.
Could you get it?
Couldn't do it. No, I can't do real magic eyes.
Oh man, well, if you can do a real magic eye, you can do those. They work.
What are they? What are they? Do you
if this is the spoiler walkthrough, so that's a shark.
Okay.
And the other one is a big heart.
Oh.
So something about
Glad
shark
I wasted
love.
my time doing that forever here.
And we did like a blog post about this, but we had some artist friends do the art for these fake Super Nintendo labels. So this was by an artist named Rachel Morris, who's in New York, and she does art for the NYU Game Center, like the game program at NYU. And then the other one that's here, so this was by the art director at Supergiant, Gen Z.
You could see the like when I looked at it, I was like, oh man, that looks like Bastion, but I didn't think anything of it.
And then guess what? The lady who drew Bastion drew that, so that's the reason.
Exactly. I wonder why. It looks
and then there's a third one down here in the bottom under the TV.
Okay.
There it is. So this one was drawn by Lee Petty, who's the art director at Double Fine, who worked on Brutal Legend and Psychonauts and everything. So it was just an opportunity for us to have some really cool artists that we know in the industry kind of contribute something to the game, because we wanted each of those labels to have its own identity and not just feel like it was drawn by the same person. You know? But
this cracked me up too, like your whole Street Fighter vibe running through it.
Well, you want to, like, if you go back to that one for 1 second and click on it. So something when we first sent this out, the reason that the air stomp is corrected there is because I had written it out like with heavy kick instead of medium kick, and multiple playtesters who are game developer nerds wrote back and they're like, "Oh, that's not right. It's actually medium kick."
Excuse me.
So instead of fixing it, we were like, "Oh, okay, Sam also got it wrong and crossed it out and had to fix it."
That's really funny.
But yeah.
So now, talked a little bit about what you exactly like. The team at Fulbright, 4 people, correct?
Yeah, 4 full-time developers, and we have people like Chris Remo did the music for us, and we had Mark Yuen help us out with QA and stuff. But yeah, it was 4 full-time developers making the game.
So I mean, like, what do you all take a part of it? Like, what was it, you were crafting the story pretty much? Or?
Yeah, so I was the writer, and Carla Zamanja, one of the other co-founders, is my story partner. And we worked on the story stuff, but I wrote all the dialogue and the text and whatnot. And so Carla's main job was doing the 2D art, so she did all of the notes and journals and labels and ads and all this stuff that you find in magazine covers and so forth. And then Jonaman Nordhagen is our programmer, and he did all the programming for the entire game. And then Kate Craig is our 3D artist, who made all of the 3D models and the architecture and stuff in the house. So it was basically, and so yeah, I did the writing and stuff, and I also did the level design. So I laid out the rooms and placed everything and did the scripting and whatnot. So yeah, we all split up between different disciplines. There was basically one person who was responsible for each major kind of part of the game,
So cool.
Including drawing barfing hamburgers, which is a big part of our responsibilities.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, seriously, I walk in, I see it, I immediately turn the lights, and you're like, oh, manic panic, pretty much. All right.
Yeah. Well, that was one of those things where, like, we've worked. I don't think I've worked on a single game that didn't have blood splatter decals on a wall somewhere. And so I wanted to just play with that and just be like, okay, I'm gonna put in this stuff that you walk in and you're like, oh my god, finally there's the video game blood splatters, and then it's hair dye, and it's just sort of like, you're like, oh, finally the serial killer's gonna pop out.
Yeah,
but
right.
no, it's
here's the sinister thing I've been waiting for.
Yeah, but no, it's still just a story about this family, because we just wanted to reinforce, yes, it's really just a story about these people that lived here. And we kind of used the imagery to drive that home. Oh, barf.
I love it. Now, why the name Nero?
It's mostly, I think, just sort of a riff on Trojan, just like another kind of ancient.
See, I was hoping it was a Destructoid reference. That's what I was like. I get it. I'm so ahead of the curve on this game. Here I'm looking for meaning and everything. This is also one of the creepiest rooms in the game. I don't know. Maybe it's just probably in my playthrough and the way I played up to it. But.
Well, I think that having it has the skylights, and having the light come in from the ceiling gives it a very particular kind of feel to the lighting in that room. There's a Easter egg here. Carla, who did the 2D art, who did all of the book covers and stuff. She was like, okay, I have to fully commit.
Are these your parents?
I'm going to put my parents on the book cover, because I won't feel gross enough about this book when I'm making it unless I do that.
How did the parents react?
God, I don't know if they've seen it. I'm not sure.
Welcome to IGN.
Yeah. hey, Carla's parents, please watch Up at Noon or and this video walkthrough on.
Well,
on
they've
IGN.
made it this far. Now they are pretty pissed.
But all of the photos in the game, like this family photo, is actually my wife's family,
Oh, really?
and the one down in the foyer as well. Like they've been altered, right? Like
Sure.
my wife's dad never really had that mustache or those glasses, and
Yeah.
like that's not my mother-in-law's hair or anything. But the cool thing was we were like, okay, there's this family that's got 2 parents and an older sister, and then a younger sister who's like 3 years younger than her. And my wife's family was totally that was the exact setup. She has a sister that's like 3 years younger than her, and
Right.
they were teenagers in the 90s and everything. And so we were just like, can we just use your family photos as like a base and then paint over them to make them look like our characters? And it worked out because when you're making something like that, when you're trying to make family photos like that, it's really hard to fake it. Like it's really hard to just like create that from scratch. So, oh no.
You think people would figure that out by now? People have been getting busted by matchbook cover for years. Oh, look, a ghost game. She's all excited. Great.
Yeah, we put that in. There was a goofy meme that developed, I think, because of the Idle Thumbs podcast about how this was a ghost game. So we just wanted to joke on that a little bit.
Right.
The photos on the back of that thing are actually also, those are like, so our environment artist, Kate, she went back to her parents' house and she was looking through the attic trying to find like stuff for research for the game. And these are actually old photos of like members of her family from like the very early 20th century. Wow. So, we put them on this game as a little like, wink and nod kind of thing.
Weird how creepy old photos look.
Yeah, I know, because people had to sit so still.
Yeah.
They kind of, it has this weird feeling like they look dead just because they're trying to hold still for so long. I don't know, it's a weird effect.
So what are the big Easter eggs I'm missing? What do people miss all the time?
Oh, gosh.
We're just running through talking, which is great.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's fun to explore this and not be terrified.
Gosh, so, I mean, I assume you put this together with Mitten the cat, and there's the collar in the closet in Sam's room.
No, I didn't.
Okay, so yeah, if you look at that, that thing up in the corner, it says
Mitten.
Our cat, drawn by Caitlin, age 5. So this cat was around, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And then if you go into Sam's closet in her room, you go into the back of the closet. There's the collar back there, the red thing. Yeah. So you can pick that up. And it's Mitten's collar. And so there's just this implication that I think maybe while you were off gallivanting around Europe, the family cat may have passed away. There's just those little things that we put in that, it's not important for you to know that. It's not like you got to know about the cat to like understand this game. But if you pick everything up and look at it and put all the pieces together, you kind of get more details about what happened while you were gone.
Heads up, this would have been a great show. Lisa Loeb, Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, I'm in. I was an Offspring, of course.
Yeah.
Back in '94, I would be down with that.
It was, I went to some kind of big outdoor festival shows like that in my day.
Right, yeah. We all did.
Put on by the local rock station. So, like, what stuff... What were you most left with after you played the game that was like an unanswered question for you or something that you?
I mean, upon reflection,
about?
it was the parents' relationship.
Okay.
Because I just didn't explore that one. That wasn't my focus, right? Like I was still very much like, what is going on in this attic?
Right.
This was like for real. Like I'm around here somewhere. I'm getting confident that like, okay, it isn't a total ghost story. It isn't as bad as I'm making. Oh God! What is? And you run up here and you tug on the lock and it's like it's locked and you got this creepy ass dark room. It's like, oh jeez Louise, I'm running over here. I'm tugging on the vent too. Trying to figure anything.
I gotta do something. Oh no.
I mean, for me, like, as far as unanswered questions, I don't know what I had really, right? Because I think it's such. I mean, this is why I'm such a proponent of the game, is that it's such a well-told story. You know what I mean? Like, the way I described it, like, when I finished it, I sat there and let the credits roll. Like when I finished Walking Dead, right? Season 1, no spoilers, but I was like devastated, right? I just sat there and it was like, listening to that song was so sad.
Yeah.
And like, what's gonna happen and yada yada yada. But this one you finish and it's like it was so bittersweet, and I was so happy for them. You know what I mean? Like there's the whole this whole shit. I'm like, she's a witch. Lonnie's a witch. Like we gotta stay away from all these people. Like what's gonna happen? But like, by the time we got to figuring out what exactly had happened, right?
Yeah.
I was just like, I was so, I don't know, like the whole story, like you figure we're gonna get there. I imagine this playthrough if I stop digging around, but like because it's downstairs now, I got to go right through the library.
Run for oh no, you can go through here. I mean, yeah, you can, but it's quicker to go through the parents' closet. Like go in.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I'm trying now. I'm just going back to when I was like, I found it all because that was the thing. I found that note and I just turned around and sprinted. I was like, well, there you go.
Yeah, so it's right in that empty space right there. Yeah, no, I mean, I agree that like the thing about the story of Gone Home is it could have
seriously fuck you. Like,
you
like,
better not. Oh no.
Oh, hold on. You know what I mean? Like, and that's you said earlier that was the only scripted thing in the game.
That's
right?
the one scripted event that we were just fucking with you, and we were like, when you look at that, we're just gonna blow the light bulb out just to mess with you.
Right.
But yeah, like it could have been. I think it could have very easily, like the story of Gone Home, could have ended much darker, right?
Sure.
Like,
and that was what I'm doing a bad job of expressing it while I play, but like that was the thing for me. Whoa, sorry.
yeah, sorry.
I gotta re-vomit.
I'm not puking.
Like there was this whole run, right, of like what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then like I went. By the time I figured out, I'm like, oh, it's not gonna be that bad.
Yeah,
Everything's
yeah.
gonna be okay. Then it was like, oh, let's go under the stairs, and you walk in, and there's that room, and that was the first time in forever I walked into the room, and I turned like there's the Satanist table, and I just go, oh fuck, and like I grabbed the key and I ran upstairs, and like I've talked to so many people who were like, I expected Sam to have hung herself, and
Yeah.
like, totally, I got up like. And that was what I was going back and forth with you guys on the game. I was like, what kind of game did they make?
Yeah.
Is it really just this love story, or is it going to end really badly for everybody?
Yeah. So if you go back up to Sam's room, all you're doing at this point is looking for the combination for locker, so I can just remind you what it is, because that'll get you further.
Yeah, we were talking. Feel free to direct me. I wanna make sure I give people good stuff.
But yeah, like it could have gone there. Like that wouldn't have. I don't think it would have been totally inappropriate to the story.
No, not at all.
But we wanted to.
Where do I have to go now?
Just in her room. You
Oh,
can
do
just
I
open
have it
the-
already?
I can tell you what it is.
Oh.
You can just put it
I
in.
can skip it. Right. You
Yeah.
know the answers.
Yeah.
You've memorized everything.
Yeah. So it's 0501. Spoilers.
What's that? What's the reference to there?
May 1st was when we moved into the house that we made the game in. So.
Oh, that's that's an interesting thing to point out right there. You guys lived in a house making this game.
That's right. So yeah, we.
She's so pretty.
Lonnie is very cute. So grab the basement key. Yeah. Check out the Morley cigarettes for sure.
You got to.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and down in the.
And here it
down
is.
there.
Gosh, Sam. Shut up. What do you mean, gosh? It's more of my sexuality.
Katie's a little bit prudish, I think. She's not as.
I get it. Again, she's dealing with a lot.
But yeah, when I left Irrational and when Yonaman and Carlo left 2 came in and we all convened up in Portland, it's okay. So turn around behind yourself. It's the other way.
I've never played this.
When we gathered in Portland to start a studio, basically we all were just living off of our savings, right? Like we didn't have jobs. We didn't want to get like venture capital or investors or anything. So the whole idea was like, what can we make with the people we have and the money we have, and have enough time to actually make something we're proud of. And so just to keep our costs down, we rented a house together in Portland, and our office is in the basement, and so we were splitting rent and working where we lived, and it just allowed us to like make this game on our own terms, basically, without having to say, okay, we have a publisher that's paying for it, or we have, this, that, or the other person that we're beholden to. Like we didn't even want to, do a Kickstarter and have like stretch goals or something, right? We just wanted to be able to make this game what we wanted it to be, And so, yeah, just like getting a house together and keeping our rent cheap and living in Portland instead of like San Francisco or Boston was a huge part of that.
Quick timeout. Have you made these shirts yet? If you guys want to make more money, I will buy a dozen of those shirts.
We haven't made.
Get on this merch train, boy.
Yeah, we haven't had merch and stuff like that. But actually, a couple of people have gotten tattoos based on the game already.
See, and that was one of the things I thought too. Is like I was so touched by the story. I'm like, I don't do tattoos, but like that.
There was a guy just like a couple days after the game came out. He got the heart locket. Yeah, as like as a sort of like an old style like. Sailor tattoo style, so he like adapted it, but it was really cool, and it was like, I don't know, first time anything like that's happened to me, you know,
Sure.
based on
Yeah,
something
yeah, that's gotta be
that I
awesome,
helped
right?
create, you know. Like, I mean, plenty of people have, like, Bioshock tattoos and
like,
stuff, but it's not
seriously,
my game.
go to hell. What are you doing? Like, that was the thing. Like, here, I was like, here's where, like, and I had just seen The Conjuring too. I don't know if you've seen Conjuring.
I haven't watched it, but
There's a big basement scene.
Okay.
And, like, basement's a big part of it, and this
Yeah.
looks like the basement there.
yeah, the face cut out of the painting is a little bit Silent Hill.
Yeah.
I mean, we're very much inspired by, like, yeah, like Silent Hill 2 is a big inspiration for me. Like, the tone of that game and the fact that even though it's a super weird, you know, kind of like supernatural game, it's also this love story, you know? It's like this story about this guy and his wife and that he wishes he could be with her and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Like, putting the atmosphere of, like, dread, but then the story of people that you can relate to together, I think is something really powerful in games. And so, yeah, Silent Hill is a big inspiration. You know, even the tone and atmosphere of Rapture in Bioshock, just like it's dark and spooky, but also you can just tell people lived here, you know, like
Yeah.
that, making it feel like, oh
Lived
yeah,
in
someone
space.
actually lived
Yeah,
here
yeah,
is really important.
What's this combo?
1963.
Like the Kennedy assassination.
Mm-hmm.
This is like you're talking about like what unanswered questions.
Yeah.
When I beat the game and I was like, wow, I can't believe this, and I'm watching the credits, I was like, oh crap, I didn't open that safe. I never ran into it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
everything had gone so perfectly the other direction.
Well,
of
you're gonna
me
have to be
finding-
good at reading cursive if you want to.
Just screw around, see what's in here.
Well, grab one of the boxes in the back behind that bottle.
Get out of here.
So like that, if you turn it around a little bit more, yeah. So you know, there's some backstory about maybe what Oscar was up to in, you know, his years of isolation here in the house when you get into the safe. Like, it's all these things where, you know, the more backstory something was, like the more removed it was from like the present day, the more comfortable we were with saying, okay, we're gonna hide this and we're gonna make it so if you never find the combination for that safe, you know, you aren't totally missing out, but if you do find it, you'll be rewarded with something that, you know, is like buried deeply but still has significance to what's going on.
Right.
You know, to like the history of this place more so than the events that are really like super relevant to the family in the here and now, you know, like in the year you were gone.
Yeah, but like I told you earlier, off camera, like you're talking about unanswered question stuff. When I beat it, I felt it was such a bittersweet feeling because
Yeah.
the story was so beautiful but still so sad.
Right.
That, yeah, I gave away. I bought it for a bunch of people on Twitter.
Yeah.
And then I went in and hugged my girlfriend. You know what I mean? Just like because there was nothing else really to do about it, right? Like
Yeah.
I'd gone through this and you know it's a happy ending and you know they got together. Like, but you're on that train ride of like, oh my God, are we thundering towards them being hung in a murder-suicide upstairs, or what the hell's
Right.
about to happen?
Yeah, it's something like, and I you know, I personally, I take that as a huge compliment, just that like,
You scare the shit out of everybody.
yeah, that I made you just shit your pants. No, I take it as a huge compliment that, like, you know, you had that reaction of like, oh, I should go, you know, tell my girlfriend I love her, basically,
Yeah,
you
right.
know, because I think that that's something that a lot of games don't touch, you know, where it's like you can have a very emotional reaction to a game, or you can have like a real connection to a game, but when it, I don't know, makes you think about, you know, your relationships that you're in, you
Right.
know, and it makes you think about the people that you care about. Like, I don't know, it's not something that we like went in being like, here's our goal. We're gonna, you know, we're gonna make a game that makes you hug your girlfriend, right?
Right,
Like,
right.
But when
you wanted to make a connection, right?
yeah, we
Like,
wanted it
that's
to
the
be a
whole
human
point.
story where people felt like, oh man, I really, you know, believed the characters in this story, and I really felt for them. Like, I don't know. So when it manifests itself in that way, that's super cool.
Celebrating our anniversary.
So do you want to see a really big Easter egg? Do you want to fucking big get for this
I do,
for this
yeah.
video? All right, so here's what I'm gonna tell you. This is like a huge. This is our goofy ass like Easter egg.
Okay.
So in a bunch of games that are inspirations to us, like in like Looking Glass games, like Thief and System Shock and Deus Ex, they always do an Easter egg that involves a basketball.
Okay.
And I don't know if you noticed in Sam's room, there's a little basketball hoop on the back of her door. It's like a little, you know, tiny like, you know, toy
Yeah,
basketball
like one of
hoop.
those Koosh ones or Nerf. ones.
So back up here, like go stand like basically in the doorway,
Okay.
and then turn around and look into the garage, and then look straight up. So you have to go grab something from the recycling bin over there. anything will do. So do your best to
throw it and knock it.
to knock that son of a bitch down. It should throw pretty far, almost. I believe in you, Greg. I believe in your skills. You have to hit it from that side.
You
Yeah.
came for the story and all about the lesbian narrative. Here we are. This is the
Oh, so
come
close.
on.
So close. Third time's a charm. Greg Miller goes for the 3.
From downtown.
Up a little higher. Up a little higher.
Oh,
There you go. Nailed
That's
it. Okay, so grab that guy and get your ass back to Sam's room. It's a little bit of a trek.
Yeah, that's fine. That's worth it.
But yeah, because like the game is all about exploration and like finding as much as you can.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to also make like any of these just goofy Easter egg things that we put in the game be about, okay, you really scoured every corner of this house.
Right.
And
Am I going the wrong way? Is there?
no, you're cool. I think your machine, because it's capturing stuff, is being a little bit of a son of a bitch. So yeah.
This is PC gaming. What a joke.
So yeah, you can go through here. You just have to toss it. You can't open it while you're holding it. So just dump it, and then there you go. All right.
No,
I believe in you. I believe in you.
I can get it down, but I can't pick it up off the floor.
All right.
Has anybody found this yet?
So there were some people. So basically, there are 23 audio diaries that are in Sam's story, but
Yeah.
there's 24 slots in the journals page. So people were like, "Where's the 24th diary?" And there were some guys on Twitch TV like trying to find it, and they were trying so hard. And they were trying for hours.
Yeah.
And so I went in and I gave them some hints, and I kind of like led
Told
them
them.
to
Good,
it.
that's good. I want
But yeah, okay. So if you can make the basket alternately, you can dunk. Katie's sport is track, not basketball. So close.
Gotta go higher.
Yeah. There you go. So take a look around behind you.
Oh, man.
No. More to the TV. Look at the TV. There you go. So we
Meow, 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 meow.
yeah. Can you hear the game audio in your headset? I can't.
Is
yeah.
it just like the cat?
It's so what we did is we had our voice actor. We had like an extra half hour with her at the end, and we were like, what can we do with this time? And we were like, you know what? Just take one of the audio diaries and read it, but just read it like you're a cat. So she just read the first audio diary from the game, but it's just meow meow meow. Meow 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 meow. And we made it Mitten's diary, and we put photos of the team's cat.
That's
like
awesome.
our family's
really
cats
cool.
and stuff. As our version of the basketball Easter egg. So yeah,
Where am I right now? I've gone in the garage. We know the parents are gone.
Why don't we go? You want to just go under the stairs now?
Can I do that now?
Like,
Okay.
I mean, you can. We haven't found the map that tells you where